Alright, so we're going to camera. I'm going to turn this down. Little thing. Alright, so. Alright, so here's the deal. There's a video that I'm uploading, and this is going to be a horrible camera. I had to do some tips and tricks to get through it. I'm going to explain them verbatim. So this is my process, and I have no problem helping people out, but the problem is my family comes first. And I know I can help you out, but you don't keep swarming around me because you want to be helped next. All right, that's what it comes down to. I'll get you when the time comes. All right, if I'm dealing with someone else and they have emotional issues and they're afraid that the light is going to be shined off them, I'm going to blow them out of the water first, and then they need time to process. So here's the deal. Like, as soon as he started being honest, he starts going in this weird, and this is schizoaffective. This is how it's being diagnosed, or schizophrenia. They shut down internally, and then you can't read their body language. That's because the doctors and nurses have no fucking clue what those references are. All right, because to them, they have their own personal life experiences. Very simple. All right, you don't. And then they talk to the therapist. This is a breakdown in the system. All right, they've talked about this information quite a lot with their family, and there's a breakdown. All right, so what I'm going to do is my music list. So my trick is that I created 4 music lists with my family, and I'll get that up on there. All right, so you got a visual thing. You may have to do the research, share it. Maybe you don't have the technology on that, or understand what I'm doing. So I'm recording my video, so I only have to say it once, and I share the link. Okay, I help this person. Now the family can say, "You've been told. I've heard your side of the story. Now you need to start acting right." And this is going to be a bullshit move, but then they can also say, "You're not listening. You're not helping out." Type deal. Very simple. Very simple. Let me go ahead and switch camera. All right, I know my device. I fucked up on this thing because I was dealing with someone else. I don't want to give a visual of communication. That is me, all right? That is the camera. All right, I'm doing calculations. I understand money. I understand Bitcoin. All right, so I'm going to have to be honest because I shared my personal thing, or he shared his personal thing the best that he could. And then because I wasn't ready or he wasn't ready, there's a piece of information that wasn't discussed. There was a whole part he talked about his brother and what he was processing. It didn't need to be on camera. Happy accident. It was automatically deleted. I know I'm doing the right thing, and he's trying to do the right thing, so it just happens. The right thing steps in. I know how to use my tools on everything. So why is that? So you become an expert at one thing. I use pornography. Very simple. I read a lot of erotica. All right, and then I went to the taboo section because I was having family issues I didn't understand. I didn't know how to communicate, but I took it out on myself, if you know what I mean. All right, the next thing is that I hit a lot of X-Hamster was my next thing for the longest time. There was also Cheggit.net, but then turned into a comedy thing, like whatever. Yeah, their format was perfect. They were teaching you how to use the site. And they were ignoring the information that was going on there. I mean, they were skating a fine line, but then all of a sudden they made a transition into comedy, which was bullshit because I'm like, where am I getting my porn from? Anyways, during that time I was at my sister's, of which her ex-husband saw a jar of pickles, because I love pickles. Oh God, spicy pickles, hot pickles. Oh my God, I love chips. And now I have high blood pressure. So I'm going to have to start doing push-ups here soon. So I threw a little money around to try to get some cred. Now everyone's like, I want some money. And I'm like, no. I'm just trying to deal with the kingpins of the hierarchy in this ecosystem. So anyways, back to 2011. That was when I was working at Arby's. So I handled a lot of beef, if you know what I'm saying. All right, they keep their beef in the oven. They like it nice and hot. Okay, and they serve it to you sliced fresh. Okay, and they also have a nice, expensive, exquisite, made fresh turkey and roast beef, something or other, deli section. All right, try it out, experiment, find out what you like. All right, don't worry about the price at times when you have the money. Okay, I have some cash coming in and trying to help people out. I'm just trying to share the love. Telling you how I work, and then you find your way and then express yourself to your family. And once you deal with your history, you shoot for your goal. All right, so I'm gonna give you a little truth. So what I do is, and this is what everyone tries to do, they try to do crazy shit and then throw a Hail Mary in there and they end up guilting people. All right, you weren't listening, you don't understand, I've told you. And then they start pushing you into the psychology system, and they have no fucking clue what they're doing because they've been in school too long. All right, they don't know what fun is. All right, so you're trying to correlate someone who parties all the fucking time and someone who's been sitting down having to write papers. All right, you've got a in-person kinesthetic, I think it is, and visual learner, and the only way you have is these words. So you try to bridge things. It just doesn't work. Anyways, and they're dealing with their own shit. The only reason why they went to school for that because they usually have a family member that fucked them up, or there's an issue that happened that they don't know how to resolve. Very simple. So I found someone, a couple of them actually. I think her name's Nancy and I want to call out. I don't think she's there anymore. She used to be a lead singer of whatever. Now, most of the clientele that she worked with didn't know that. But she told me, she's like, what you're saying, I feel I can be honest with you about this personal opinion, and that way we have that bridge connection. I'm like, thank you. She told me her husband worked in finances. They're having issues. I'm like, that's because you're not understanding. You both are so close, or you already know and you're working me, which I don't like. And you're trying to help me because I'm in this shit place. It was ran like a jail. So she had red hair. Lindsay Blagg, that's where I met her. She was my old boss. She's one of the bosses that I've never slept with. So I didn't sleep with Susan Price, my current boss. So we're good there. I'm doing good. All right. And it's not, anyways, I can always find that moment to find time to have sex, and have a fun time. But even afterwards, I know how to handle it. That's not a major ordeal. And then the relationship's fun for a little bit. But then it comes down to I've got to go. Anyway, I'm married. You can't do that. Anyways, so I made my deal with Susan Price. I'm like, here's the deal. I want you to be happy with your one. You got to focus, stay true. And here's the deal. You do that. You do that for me. All right. She told me about this little story about Monopoly, and she cheated, and her grandchildren loved it. They thought it was hilarious. They're like, we don't see a thing. How are you doing this? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, here's the deal. You cheat for me once. Let's say in the next life, okay? Very simple. You are in your training program for whatever. You're helping people out. You get some points. I want you, for an example, during training, is to fuck up bad. You find me. You're like, I like this guy. And then just, damn well what you're doing and fuck up and then just act dumb. You're like, I don't know show me what's going on. And then, if they fix it real quick and it doesn't get your result, do it again. You're like, what am I doing wrong? And then they'll say, go to someone else, try again. And then, by that time, I've already picked it up. All right, that's how we work the system, and I'll do it for you when I'm up there. That's simple, have it. All right, I'm never going to be there because I'm getting negative points. I've already showed you the skills. So, because I'm helping people out. All right, so that's what I'm working with. So outside home, I'm dealing with all this negativity. They're giving me all this information, all this key information on how to fix them. And I'm like, I can't help you right now. I'm trying my best if you learn how to talk. So I take them out to the bar. And then they start talking gay shit. Both men and women. They're all women are like, I like you. And I'm like, I've got someone in mind. Settle the fuck down. So here's the deal. The rapist, okay? If you take the energy of rap, hip hop, hi-ho, okay? You have two choices. You either think with your right side, like when you listen to Lose Yourself, and then you hear the fact that it's about a father taking a shower and jacking off, and then his semen is going down the drain, and he's trying to block the fact that his daughter's yelling in the other room, I need help. So, you got to break those lines, okay? This is parent talk, all right? And if you can't talk to your kid about sex, send them this way. Let them get fucked up this way, all right? It makes sense, all right? The fact of the matter is the entire system was built for second grade love letter, February whatever, shit show where you're dropping bombs into boxes, okay? Not hard. All right, I'm trying to rope this back in. I've got to be honest now that I laid out that key piece of information. So, Chegg it, ex-hamster for the longest time, hate Pornhub, hate it. But when I met Lisa, somehow her computer left a search history on there. Love you, Lisa. I'm calling you out. You're an amazing woman, and I think I'm going to steal your dog, okay? Because he right. He knows what he wants. He says, I want to go over there and pee. I want to pee on every single 5 steps and then maybe take a bomb, or I want to drop it. And then I'm going to pick it up with a bag and then remove the evidence, because I don't want people to know where I leave my shit. So, anyways, it doesn't, if you go online, okay, there's evidence, all right? There's technology. The big companies know what you're doing. And the reason why is because they have money. If you're their clientele and they want to support that, they will push information your way. If you're not getting it, then there's a point where there's a roadblock. They're like, we're trying to help you. We want you as a customer, but you're not listening. You keep trying to explain it to everyone when you need to shut your mouth. So I tried to explain in the last video, which I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and start this. We'll skip to the next one. Walk a mile in these Louboutins. So my one hates me right now. She always has. She hates me because she hates the way I talk. She's like, you do nice things, but then you say stupid shit. Then all of a sudden you go off the edge because I ain't listening to the stupid shit anymore. I say, shut your fucking mouth. Don't talk to me like that. I didn't give you the right to walk in my shoes. And I'm like, here's the deal. Explain my history. I told you that I've heard you day one, okay? When you look through my history and correlate what I've written based off of what you experience now, you know, these experiences. So the only way I can explain it, and this is like me and a therapist session. So here's the deal. Like, I met this person and I've been seeing these signs all the way through my life. And then all of a sudden it happens with this person's signs from God, okay? And I'm like, you can't explain that. You can't. Because the other person's like, okay, this guy's religious. Okay, so this is a religious person. No. These are the only words I have. Okay, I'm trying to correlate something to you. So, anyways, Little Bo Peep, I also did. There's other ones, and I don't want to get too deep because I tore into her most recently. So, and I've told everyone along the way, I'm like, I'm okay. Just let me do my thing. Document how you interpret it, and then I'll call it back later on. And that's what I need to rope in. So if you talk to a therapist and a doctor, a health practitioner, they don't have the same information. All they do is ask you to repeat yourself. The thing is like during a therapy session, you go deep. So then when you go to the doctor, they ask for 5-minute overview. That ain't the same thing. So what I'm doing here is putting all my shit online, and then all the people can get together and then do that. Case in point, I go to BJC. They did everything online. I had like 4 different people on screen, and I'm like, so who's going to be actually talking to me in person? And they gave this name, and I'm like, well, why aren't they here? Well, we wanted to talk together as like your core management team before, to see how we're going to deal with this. And then they, since they were all online and I was there, they read off her information. So I immediately hopped on my phone, texted her. I'm like, hey, sweet thing, how's it doing? How you remember me? And then she's like, who is this? I'm like, your new interest. And then she's like, what? I'm like, I'm sitting in a BJC, and then she's like, son of a bitch. And then the boss is like, and I readdressed her, like, the case manager's this, we'll fill her in. I'm like, don't worry about it. We'll fill her in that Joshua Timothy says this is a new clientele. I'll do that. I'm like, don't worry about it. I've already texted her. And they're like, what? I'm like, you read off the phone number. All right, be smart, okay? That's what emails are for. Learn how to talk. Okay, if you're going to give me the information, I'm going to use it. All right, I'm going to use it in the way I want to, that benefits me. All right, don't be stupid. So, anyways, all right. So I need to be honest. So incest flicks, there's a whole bunch of shit ones. But anyways, we're at a point now. Well, you can download those videos. And there's a video back in 2000 of this news guy. They were talking about incest videos. They're like, that's disgusting, blah, 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 blah. And he's just like, all you got to do is turn on the volume and it's just porn. Exactly. So everyone's judging you. You know, they're like, well, that's disgusting. I can't do that. And they're bridging their mind like, they're like, I can't fuck my sister and put a bag on her head. And I'm like, no. You missed the whole point. All right, the entertainment is in the eye of the beholder. How you interpret it is your business. How you use it is your business. All right. So there is a Hail Mary on there, Mother Mary. Anyways, it touches home to someone special. That person got pissed off because it reminded them of someone in their family. They're like, "Do you like me or not?" And I'm like, "No, you're missing the point. I didn't know you. All right, I was saying information that correlated to your story. All right." And then for some reason, the information I was receiving was driving me down this path because that's where people, the energy, the information I was receiving was wanting me to go. Okay. And for the longest time, I just kept my mouth shut. I'm like, here's the deal. All right, I know what I'm doing. I'm a time traveler. I saw into the future. I saw my future self. All right. You can come in here if you feel comfortable. Just throw in your 2 cents. I'm talking about my porn history and how I found my wand through my stick. Okay, it's very simple. All right, because what you are is what you eat. Or wait, what you see is what you process.
This one because
oh, I'm not. No. No, that was to mix with the soda.
Oh, okay.
You were supposed to mix and match like an alchemist because you keep talking about mixing stuff. I figure you can find the perfect blend because there's no such thing as a lemonade.
I was mixing the lemon with the lime.
Yeah, that's zero sugar. That's got sugar in it. That's why I was trying to do that, in case you wanted to branch out. Because that was completely different. I was just throwing the odd man out into the mix.
All right.
So, anyways,
still doing the...
I was doing high. I was explaining why we ran out of time and apologizing that it happened, but it was like God stepped in, or my belief, a higher power. But it was just...
My higher power just came to me a couple of minutes ago.
Right.
And she was like, he was talking about the game as in like why you're making it, right?
Right.
And then I was like, well, I want to go to heaven, but I don't know if heaven exists the way it exists out there.
Right.
Like in my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, do you mind if I impede and just stomp all over that with my viewpoints? Okay. So here's the deal. This is how I view things. I'm like, your heaven is not going to be my heaven. Mm-hmm. Okay. There's a song called OPM. A heaven is a half pipe. It's about skateboarding, but he talks about Jesus smoking dope. Mm-hmm. And then there's another, who's Will Ferrell. We hate him, right? Talladega Nights. He's like, baby Jesus. He's up in the Leonard Skinner concert singing. That's how I do. And the veteran's like, no, that's not how Jesus is. And then he's like, I drink so much Mountain Dew, I'll kick your ass, old man, to his grandpa. But it's a disrespect thing. Some people understand that, other people don't. Mm-hmm. So, but everyone has their own viewpoint of heaven. Mm-hmm. So, and it's not my right to stomp on your dreams. Well, so
what happened is when I like hell is where I'm understanding is actual place in time and space. Mm-hmm. And what it is to me is that it's constant evolution, constant humility in such things that get you out of hell and purgatory and stuff like that.
Right. Do you mind if I step in?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so being homeless, and a lot of people don't get this, but homeless can be attached to different memories and stuff. But you're in a corner, you're at your last point of energy, and you are grasping to take that next step to make sure that you rest your brain so that way you can sleep and not be afraid to die because it's so fucking cold. Do I have that food in the next moment? Mm-hmm. Now, that varying degree happens at all levels of finances, because at the rich point, they're like, I have all these people depending on me. I'm trying to keep them job because I know they have families. It's both ends understand each other perfectly, but that middle section gets lost and there's too many notes. But Don Torius had an adventure of education on the streets, and is now an expert, and people aren't listening to him. All right, he knows how to process things that other people don't. Okay, plain and simple. It's no one's fault. It was the path that needed to happen, so that way we can get here. Everyone have different paths, so that way we're all in one place to create a new song. The fact that we're not doing flash mobs every day is because Kenny's a faggot, all right? He smokes cigarettes. So, and he likes the penis, even though he's never touched a cock in his life. All right, I have. Age 5. All right, there were some incidences of experimentation. We ain't gonna talk about it. It was innocent. All right, but now you know. And I also look at incest porn. All right, and I also did CEI videos. Oh, look that up. Go down that thing, and get me past that point to try that out, because I knew I was gonna, lay seed into my pathway. All right. And then I was going to have to eat it. All right, eat my own shit. So then I use cheese. I use a slice of cheese and beer. Very simple. Anyways, go ahead, because comedy is fun. All right, this is the Pineapple Express. We're going to correlate the best marijuana drug, to this video. All right, because it'll fuck you up that good. You'll have to smoke that much weed. Go ahead.
Which apparently is one puff for me.
Puff, puff, pass.
Oh.
Anyways, go ahead. Do you have just whatever, free
So
flow?
Lucifer is
He's a light bearer, for those that are judging right now. All right, you're not understanding that he was the only other one in the room. And then my personal belief is he is your demons that you face, and we will explain that in other ways. All right, you got to stop with the body language, because it's a fucking audio thing, all right? No one can see that. Talk out loud and explain it.
I think there's something over here that wants to get closer.
Okay. And what is that to you?
I think it's because we're talking out loud.
All right. Yeah, okay. I'm going to talk about visual disturbances and what they call hallucinations. All right. It's you're trying to merge your past and present in the moment, or future in the present in the moment. And if you ever try to do Photoshop and then overlay images, there's a distort. All right. And there's a point where things come out and they look like something else. So you got to erase it. So if you just ignore it, let's just say that's an angel or demon trying to help you out. They're using their karma to step in. You don't acknowledge it, so you just keep moving forward and doing the job at hand.
No.
All right, go ahead. Are we done?
I think we have to do meds.
I don't have to do meds. Mine was 4 o'clock, and I avoided that like the plague. Yeah, go for it. Go for it, bud.
Sure you don't want this?
No. I don't want. No. My stomach's starting to be upset. It's all right. So I talked to my nurse here. He comes once a week. I said, people keep talking to me crazy. I need a Viagra pill because I ain't being hard enough. I figured the conversation would stop if I walk around with an erection. I'll be like, what's going on? I'll act like nothing's going on. What? Oh, is you're going that way? What's pointing you that way? What's leading you that way? You uncomfortable? I'm good. I'm drinking my coffee. Fuck y'all. All right, I'm going to bed. You know what I'm doing. I'm talking to my lady. Anyways, I got a Pornhub account, Wild Assistant. It's wild_assistant, capital WA_410. All right. Anyways, my Reddit account is wild_assistant_4104. All right. They directly correlate. There is no penis in either one of them. Well, Reddit has a lot of dick comments, so you will be slapped around in the face quite a bit. I'm sorry about that. I ain't gay, but if you want to check it out, you will see a lot of dick. All right. I don't want to cash out on that. Love you, Mom. Thanks for teaching me. All right. Anyways, incest, stay away from it. It's fucked up. We got Monkey Mountain for that. We don't deal with Monday's keys. You know, the shit you do on the weekend bleeds over into work. All right? That's why you're at the coffee coughing all the time. You're like, how the fuck did you know that? Well, stop posting shit online, okay? All right.
Was you online?